Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Hope you are all doing good. So the question that we'll be solving today is longest arithmetic sequence tree path from binarysearch.com. So this is a hard level question and let's see what the question is asking. So you are given a binary tree root, return the length of the longest path starting from the node that goes top to bottom where its value form the arithmetic sequence. Now they have explained what an arithmetic sequence is. So an arithmetic sequence is a sequence of numbers where the difference between each consecutive two numbers is the same. For example, 2468, this is an arithmetic sequence or arithmetic progression, or we call it as AP in short, and 1478 is also an AP. So if you can see here the difference between in 2, 4, 6, 8, the difference between 2 and 4 is 2, difference between 6 and 4 is 2, difference between 8 and 6 is also 2. So this is a common difference between all the consecutive elements. So this is in AP. And likewise here also the common difference is 4 minus 1, 3, 7 minus 4, 3, 10 minus 7, 3. So a sequence of length 2 or fewer is considered an arithmetic sequence. So what do we mean by that? So if you have only one element in your arithmetic sequence, then of course it will be in AP. 2 or fewer considered an arithmetic sequence. And if we have two elements, then whatsoever be the difference between them, let's say if we have these two elements, then whatever is the difference between them, they will always be in AP. Right, so this is what they mean by a sequence of length 2 or fewer is considered as an arithmetic sequence. Now let's see what are the constraints. So we can see the n lies between 0 to 10 to the power 5, where n is the number of nodes in the root. Right, so we can even have an empty tree as well without any roots. Right? So in that case, the uh, length of the longest arithmetic sequence tree path is 0. So let's see the example test cases that they have seen. So in this example test case, you can see we have been given a binary tree, and in this binary tree, you can see the difference between 1 and 4 is 2. Sorry, 1 and 4 is 3. Between 4 and 7 is 3, and between 7 and 0 is how much? 7. Minus 7 if we take 0 as a later element. Now if you can see here, what are the elements between which the difference is same, that is 1, 4 and 7. So the length will be 3 and hence the answer will be 3. Let's see one more example to make it more clear. Let's say you have a tree something like this. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 7, 9, 10. So what will be the length of the longest arithmetic progression here? So if we see here, difference between 1 2 is 1 and 2 and 3 is 1 and 3 and 6 is not 1. So this is one of the sequence that we see here, which is an AP. Now two elements together is also an AP. So this will also be an AP. This will also be an AP. And then in this particular example, 1 2 3 4. So this is the longest sum because there are 4 elements. So answer for this tree would be 4. So how are we going to solve this problem? What should be our approach? So if you think about it, uh, the thing for every node, what we need to have its parent as well. Whenever we visit any node, if we know the parent, then we can simply deduce out what is the difference between that value and the value of its parent. For example, if we are at this node 6, right, and we know its parent is 3, so we can say that value of, let's say this node is n1 and this node is n2, so we can simply say that n1 dot val minus n2 dot val will be equal to d, or whatever is the difference. So if we can calculate difference at any point and we also maintain a difference from its parent, that is keep on running, then we can say that if this condition is true at every point, we can simply increase our length by 1. So this is a normal DFS question, and then let's try to implement this logic. So what have we given? We have been given a binary tree here, a binary tree with node structure as value left and right. So what all thing we need? We would be needing a let's say So first we need to handle some of the edge cases also. So we know that there can be empty root as well. So let's say root equal to null. So in this case we'll simply return 0. Why? Because there won't be any sequence or path which forms an AP. Now the other thing is, like, one of the case that we can have is, let's say your tree is something like 1, 2, 3, right? So if this tree has only what to say, uh, one element, not like this, something like this, with only one element, then what will be the length? The length will be simply 1, right? So in this case we can have it as uh, if the tree has only one root, so if root dot left is equal to null and root dot right is equal to null, will simply return what? 1, as the length will be 1, right? Now let's think about other cases. So this would be our base cases. Now we need to actually call a DFS method, as we want to have downwards in the tree, right? So if we want to have the DFS, let's write the DFS method. So it will be private, it will be a void only. Should I keep it end? Let's keep it void for now. Let's see if we want to return anything. We'll call it as DFS. And as we discussed, at every node it also requires its parent node also. So one will be this tree current node, let's call it root, and then we'll also be requiring its parent node, right? We'll also be requiring its parent, so tree parent, and we are also sending the current running common difference, so let's call it as D. And what is the length of the current length that is running, right? So first, for the recursion, let's have our base condition. If root hits null, will simply return from the method. Okay, I have not done anything, so we'll simply return from there. Now we'll check for the DP condition. So what is that condition? So if we look at this particular method, if we are at this node 7 and current difference that is coming from top is 4 minus 1 3, that is 3. So we have to check if current, that is root dot value minus, will also have its parent pointer. So parent dot value is equal to D, that is the running difference that is coming from the top. Then we can simply increment our current length, that is our curve pointer, right? So let's do this. So if, what is the condition? The condition is if root dot val minus parent dot val is equal to current running difference, then, and in this case we will actually increase our current length, which is wanted by this variable current plus equals to 1. Else if it is not there, then we'll have to leave that path. We'll start a fresh path from here, and the fresh path length will be equal to 2. Why it will be equal to 2? Because let's say we have something like 1 4 7, and then we have here as 12. So at this point, the current running difference would come to be 3. But when we do 12 minus 7, the difference will be 5. So this path, current path, will be 3. But from 7 to 12, we'll have to actually start a new path, because here the difference will become 5. So as the difference is changing, my new arithmetic sequence will start from here now, as the difference got changed here. So it will be initially of the length 2 only. So this we have to actually keep in mind. So our current will be equal to set to 2 for the fresh path, right? And then once we have done, we'll simply call our DFS method, once for the left child and once for the right child. So this will be root dot left, right? And then root dot left will be the new. So what will the parent of its root dot left? That will be the current node. And then we'll have to pass the current common difference, that will be root dot val minus parent dot val. we are actually passing it here after calculating it because it can change as well, right? Hence we have not used the older value of the year, so we have to pass it like this. And then current length we have already updated, so whatever is the current length as per the condition, that will be passed. And let's call this for my right pointer as well, right? Root dot val minus parent dot val, and then current. So once my DFS is over, then I will have my maximum value. So we'll also have to keep a track of the maximum that we have seen so far. So let me have global uh, method, a global variable. Let's call it int max ap or max path, and let's initialize it to 1. And then because the minimum that we can have is 1, right? Or and minimum to that we have already handled here, so we can start our max path equals to 1, or like for that sake we can even keep it 0 if you want to include that. So what we have to actually do, as soon as we have updated our current, we'll try to maximize our max path. So our max path, just copy it so I don't make a typo, is equal to math dot max of max path comma current length that we have found. So if current length is greater than whatever max path we have found, it will update that. And after the entire DFS, we'll have our max path to us as the biggest one. So what we need to now pass here, now here we need to actually we have handled the two cases of 0 node, of 1 node. Now for 2 node we will have to actually call the DFS on its left child as well as right child. So we'll have to call a DFS on root dot left, and its parent will be root, and common difference will be root dot left dot val minus root dot val. And initially, like, only one common difference that was running was 1 if we start from the root. And then same we'll call it for root dot right, root dot right dot value minus root dot value. Now if you see here, I'll also have to keep a check here because we are trying to access a value and it may throw a null pointer as well, right? So we can simply have a check here. If root dot left is not equal to null, then we need to actually call this, and similarly we need to have another check for root dot right, and then it will be called with root dot right. And after our DFS is done, we'll have our max path as the maximum, so we'll actually return that max path. Let's try to run this code. So I got a compilation error. Okay, so if that is in the line 18, that is if, okay, this was the typo, so let's run it again. So it is accepted. Let's submit this. So yeah, you can see success. So this is how this question will be solved, and this was asked from the company's tag. We can see that this was asked in Google. So yeah, this was a good question to understand how recursion can help in, or DFS can help in 3 types of questions. So this was the short video for today, guys. Hope you like it. If you like the content of this channel, please consider subscribing to it, and please like this video and share. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.